Back to our little topology map, I have another scenario that I want to talk about. Let's say that I want to expose a web to the outside internet. I'm not going to host it on my nftables machine. I'm going to host it on my internal VLAN 10 network. On 192.168.10.10, I installed Nginx and I'm serving a web page. So I'm going to create an nftable that whenever someone from the internet tries to reach to my router, to my firewall on port 80, he's going to get redirected to my internal service running on 192.168.10.10. Not only that, I'm going to make it so if someone reaches from the internet on port 80 to my firewall, to my nftable machine, he's going to get redirected to a service. But if from my internal network, if from VLAN 20, I also reach to my nftable machine on port 80, I'm going to get redirected to another service running on 192.168.10.10. And my nftable is going to do all of this routing. I changed my nftables from what I have previously, so now I'm giving this machine in VLAN 10 internet access. And after giving it internet access, I installed Nginx, and in here I'm serving two pages. One is listening on port 8080, and one's listening on port 8081. So if someone visits port 8080, he's going to get a page saying, hey, welcome, you came from the one. And if someone visits port 8081, he's going to get a page saying, you came from the internal network. But anyone is going to only visit my nftable machine on port 80. And my nftables are going to redirect the traffic based on whatever it came from. So that's how my nftables.com is going to look like. First of all, on the chain input, meaning connections coming to the nftables machine, I'm going to allow connections coming on port 80. Then on my forward chain, first of all, I'm allowing traffic in between my VLANs. And that's my forward chain that's going to deal with traffic coming through the nftables machine. First of all, I'm going to allow inter-VLAN routing. So traffic coming from VLAN 10 and going to VLAN 20 is going to be accepted. And traffic coming from VLAN 20 going to VLAN 10 is going to be accepted. Traffic coming from VLAN 10 and going to ETH.0, that's 1, is going to be accepted. That's crucial for VLAN 10 to have internet access. And now, as you remember, if someone from the internet tries to access my router on port 80, he's going to be redirected to VLAN 10. So, traffic coming from the 1 going to VLAN 10, more specifically to IP destination address 192.168.10.10 on port 8080, that's where I'm hosting my page for 1. Traffic is going to be accepted. And to access my internal page from VLAN 20, I need this rule. So traffic coming from VLAN 20 and going to VLAN 10 to this IP address on port 8081 is going to be accepted. And then at the bottom, I'm going to add my table IPNet. On the chain pre-routing, I have my first rule that what it says, if someone from the 1 tries to access my nftables machine on port 80, then I'm going to DNet it, I'm going to transfer it, I'm going to forward it to 192.168.10.10 on port 8080. That's where I'm hosting my 1 page. And whenever someone comes from VLAN 20 and tries to access my nftables machine on port 80, then I'm going to DNet it, I'm going to transfer it, I'm going to forward it to 192.168.10.10 is the same machine on my VLAN 10, but now on port 8081. That's where I'm hosting my LAN application. And finally, I'm masquerading traffic coming from 192.168.10.0, that VLAN 10, and going to 1. I'm masquerading it so that VLAN 10 can have internet access. So let's see how it goes. Blind the rule. So now from my Mac, if I try to access my nftables machine, I'm going to be coming from the 1. And I see that I access the 1 web page. Great, so now if I go to my VLAN 20 machine and I wget my nftables IP address, the nftable should identify that the traffic is coming to VLAN 20 and redirect me to the app for LAN interfaces. And as you can see, it knows that I came from VLAN 20, it knows that I came from the internal network. And that's how we can use nftables to net and DNet traffic based on where it's coming from.